The trenches. They were a key to survival in World War I. Although there were some good things about them, the astonishing amount of bad things overpowered the good. Starting off with the good things, they provided shelter from enemy gunfire, which stopped a lot of soldiers being killed. They also gave some space between the two enemies because of the land known as the No Man's Land. No one was allowed in the No Man's Land, or else they would be killed by gunfire. The soldiers could also build bunkers in the soil, like I am standing in right now. Trenches could also be used to transport injured or dead soldiers. Now for the bad things. There was a substantial amount of problems with these disease holes. On the topic of diseases, there were lots of them. One example is trench foot. If soldiers were in the wet, unsheltered trenches for too long, they could get trench foot, which make the foot have pain, swelling, cold and blotchy skin, or numbness followed by skin and tissue dying and falling off. Another disease in the trenches was typhoid fever. People got typhoid fever if the food was contaminated. Like, the food in the trenches was not actually too bad. Soldiers would mostly get 20 ounces of bread, 3 ounces of cheese, 4 ounces of jam and 2 ounces of dried vegetables and various other things. It was not too bad, although soldiers would hardly ever get hot meals, as it was difficult to get hot food down to the front lines, meaning a lot of soldiers was eating canned foods like bully beef, which was just tinned corned beef. And when they did get hot meals, they were not necessarily safe, as sometimes they were contaminated, meaning that people could get very ill or die. And lastly, in the trenches there was a big problem of rats and lice. All of the rats carried diseases around, and if people had wounds and the rats bit into them, they could cause quite fatal infections.